Hello,
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Metal Gear University,
I am T,
and I am Kay. And we're back continuing with Metal Gear Solid 4.
the Metal Gear Solid 4, the convoluted, confusing, and sometimes contradictory Metal Gear Solid 4. But we're here to piece it together.
We really are, and we can assure you that we are taking the time and we're sitting down and digesting all of it. And if we're wrong,
Let us know,
yeah, let us
because
know. We're trying our best.
if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen in this game.
But we're really trying to take the time. And I think from even today's notes, I was kind of noticing this is probably going to be one of our longer little 101s.
Well, because like 4 goes into like a lot of like little niches. Like they drop a bomb that's one sentence long, and then they move on, and then you're like, wait, hold on a second.
And I think our issue is we'll see that one sentence and we'll just yap about it for like 5 minutes. And then an episode winds up being an hour 30, and we're like, this is not sustainable.
Yeah.
So if this becomes Metal Gear Solid 4 part 20,
Sorry.
you're welcome. As always, let us know any questions, comments, concerns, anything that we do wrong, like T just said. Email us at itstkandm@gmail.com. That is itstkandm@gmail.com. And also, too, I think we're feeling back and healthy. So this is going to be a really good. I'm a little sleepy, but we have the energy and mental willpower
Fortitude.
to continue on. We were also thinking this intro is going to be a little bit different because usually we talk about our week and we know all of you are so interested in our lives.
Yeah.
So we feel like you come to MGU, the Metal Gear University, to chat, to think about things maybe you haven't thought of before. So this intro, we thought we kind of break down a bit of like, what's been happening in the game. Maybe pose some questions to you.
Yeah. Ponder on something that we haven't had a chance to ponder on as of yet.
One thing we were thinking of was Solid Snake, who is now Old Snake. The last we saw him before Metal Gear Solid 4 was that really influential, monumental monologue he has at the end of MGS2.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really powerful hand on shoulder, Raiden, you get to decide your future.
You got this, buddy. It's a wide open world out there.
Right? You get to decide your fate, and you have to decide what goes towards the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yep.
What do you think Old Snake is feeling or thinking?
You know, it can't be good.
Because so far in this game, no one has asked him. He never really opens up. Usually when he opens up, I'm thinking in Metal Gear, in MGS2 or MGS1. It's always at the end of the game where he's kind of like at his wit's end.
Yeah. I feel that Snake at his core is still the same guy. But I think he's just tired.
I think so too. I really think so.
And I think like the old age is a very visual staple on how he is feeling.
It's funny because I would say it's like a physical manifestation. When you're exhausted at work, you can't sleep. You got the eye bags.
Yeah.
Look, your face is looking a little gaunt. For him, it's due to whatever is happening to his body. But I think with what's happening in the game, like you said, it's kind of just a visual representation of just this man is.
He had ideals, and he thought that the world could be a better place. So then the world ended up being very different. And it's like, damn.
And he's rehashing the same shit that he's been doing in Metal Gear 2, in Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid, like, you know what I mean? It's always this, I'm trying to stop a big bad.
Yeah.
And at what point does there stop being a big bad? And why is it always Snake?
Because it has to be. Who else is going to do it? Who else is going to do it, man?
Hopefully we'll get some kind of inner monologue, or even his monologue. Hopefully he opens up to his man. Hopefully he gets to get another little emotional outburst. Because, I don't know, you play this game and you kind of see the results of everything they feared. And it's hard to not be hopeless in this kind of environment.
But I think that that's the point. It's finding the hope in the hopelessness.
the strength to keep going.
I mean, that's what Snake's doing. He is beaten down both physically and like emotionally. And for some reason, he finds an excuse to get up out of bed every fucking day and try, knowing that it's probably not going to work, but he tries anyway.
I think it's really, that's like the core of his speech in two. It's kind of like wanting for better and wanting for more and like what's in my power to cause that change.
Mhm.
So it's it's just kind of sad. I think it's rough to just kind of see where the world ended up despite all his best efforts, despite all the people that have been harmed and died in this process. You know what I mean? Like throughout his entire life, he's seen so many of his comrades and friends die, and it's like, yet it continues,
Yeah, like what was it all for?
and yet he continues.
Because, I mean, maybe you could argue that in giving up, that's when he would truly feel that they died for nothing. You know, like
What was it all for?
he's got everybody on his back. Like he's got Gray Fox, he's got Raiden, he's got Meryl and Otacon, he's got Colonel, everybody living and dead. And I feel like that he has this urge to just like go forward for them, you know?
And I think what's cool about Snake, it's kind of unsaid, but it's a team effort. Like he knows what his role is in all of this, but he also leans on people like Otacon or Colonel, or it's not like he's just like kind of. I'm thinking about, we just played we're playing Last of Us Part 2, and you kind of think about like Ellie in the show
Mm-hmm.
version, where she was just kind of like, it's me, I have to be the one to like do everything myself, and like that's not how things get done.
Yeah.
So I just think it's cool that Snake he kind of knows his role and knows what he can do, and he also leans on his team. Like there's still that, like, I don't know, there's joy in having that kind of relationship with people and community.
Mm-hmm.
So, whew. Another topic, and shout out to Tony Bones, our dear friend. They sent us a video, and it was kind of this, was it analysis or?
It was like an analysis of like the gamification of war, and it touched on modern day political events, mainly like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and that's a whole can of worms. But to sum it all up, it's the memification of how war is handled and how soldiers view themselves on the battlefield.
And we can definitely post this.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we should. We'll put a link in the description. But it essentially kind of like, I guess what you can say to sum it up is it's kind of like the normalization of war through games. Like it kind of, what's the phrase? Like it kind of what do I say? Like how, like murder in TV, we've kind of become numb to it.
Yeah.
So like you see it all the time, you become numb to it. And what this person was saying in the video was like through use of games like Call of Duty, through use of games where it's just like America versus unnamed Middle East country,
Mm-hmm.
we call it also like in movies you'll see like the Mexico filter, where like Mexico is always yellow.
Oh yeah, I mean, as much as I love Breaking Bad, they are very notorious for doing that. Now, I'm speaking from someone who was born and raised in the States. I can't speak for European or international listeners.
Fair.
But I remember when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. I'll never forget this. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever fucking seen. There was like a military Humvee parked outside of the GameStop with military recruiters passing out flyers to the people who were in line for the midnight release. And I was like, that's fucking weird.
How old were you?
I was, oh god, how old was I?
Like a teen?
I think I was a teen. When did that game come out?
Okay, Tom's looking it up right now.
I'm gonna feel really old in a second.
It's fine. But no, I think even just the optics, like, all of us, well, we're all adults, I imagine. But think about that optic of just like, you are playing a game, you are going to GameStop to pick up whatever, and there is this life-changing organization outside using that to bring you in.
I was like, I was in my early 20s.
Okay, so you were still able to
It
be
came
recruited.
out in 09.
Okay. So you were able. Oh, 09?
Yeah.
So you were.
I was like 19.
Yeah. So you were still well, you were prime age.
Oh, ooh, they wanted me, man.
And so we wanted to, shout out Tony Bones for sending this to us. We wanted all of you to keep that in mind as well. Like, how does Snake think about the way the world is operating right now? The people we meet, Marrow and others, how do they see kind of this war economy? How it, Snake himself goes, war has changed. So this gamification, there's this shifting idea of what war means, who's profiting, who's not. Keep that in mind as we continue on our discussion.
I'm seeing a lot of parallels between MGS4 and our world today. And not to say that it is as dire, not to say that it's not serious, but I feel like this is like a very mature wake-up call. If you're viewing this world and being like, that's not happening, and you're like, it's right now we kind of got like the diet version. Maybe we should not go down this road,
That's why it's really always funny to me when you have like a small sect of people and they're like, oh, Kojima isn't anti-war. Kojima isn't critical of like war. It's just a game. And I'm like,
bro, come on.
Like, games can be games, of course, but we can also sit here and analyze them, break them down. There's motifs, themes, memes. Like, we are here to analyze, and it's very apparent that this isn't a fun time for anyone in this series. Who has a great time in this series?
This is a good question. Let me think.
No one.
Oh,
sorry. Take your time, sorry.
I'm going to really try to think on who might be having an actual good time. Do animals count?
Sure.
I'm thinking Drebin's monkey is probably chilling.
You know what? He doesn't know what's going on.
He doesn't really. He's sipping on soda. He's just hanging out.
What about a person?
A person? Ooh, that's a good question. Give me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a minute.
Take your time. I'll take a sip of coffee.
Yeah, no one.
No one. No one's having fun.
Maybe those guys who are doing that nature doc in the beginning,
unnamed,
with the squids. I mean, even then, they're kind of like interrupted by like submarines and shit.
Who are we talking about?
The nature documentary at the very beginning of the game when you're flipping through the TV channels.
Oh my god, unnamed. Yeah.
Unnamed marine biologists
watching octopus, right?
Yeah, maybe them.
Maybe them.
I don't know. This is hard. This world sucks, man.
Yeah, it sucks. Let's get into it.
All right.
But wait, lastly, before we get in, actual general intro topic, Fox Hunt got released, which is kind of an adaptation on the MGO.
Yeah, it seems to be like a new game mode. Like MGO was like a red team, blue team, and random snake element in between.
This one's kind of like prop hunt.
It does seem like prop hunt. Only like instead of like turning into props, like you have like really good octo camo.
And it looks kind of funny, and you really like prop hunt.
I do like prop hunt. So I think I'll have fun with it, but I don't know. A lot of people were asking for like a proper like sequel to MGO. And I'm a little disappointed that it's not there. I will admit.
Maybe Master Collection Volume 2, they'll bring it back with Metal Gear Solid 4.
Perhaps.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is like its own thing in Delta, and when 4 comes out, they're like, okay, and here you go.
Yeah. I mean, with that said, I am excited to play Fox Hunt. It does look fun. The Bomberman and...
You see, we don't own an Xbox, but I almost want to get one just for Bomberman.
Maybe we can get it for Steam.
No, it's going to be...
Xbox exclusive?
Yes.
So, not even for Steam? We can't...
No, Steam was going to have the
Command?
Snake versus Monkey.
I kind of want the Bomberman.
It looked kind of cute in the trailer. And I loved Bomberman as a kid.
Like, I know Snake versus Monkey is, like, the definitive one, and I'm glad I get to play it again. But, like,
Bomberman?
I don't know. Bomberman looks
No,
kind of fun.
it looks super cute. Like the trailer, if you haven't seen the new trailer, definitely check it out. It was part of that Konami.
Press start event. I forget what they're calling them.
Yeah, right. What are they?
Well, they're a digital event. You know,
Konami Directs. They're all directs.
Look it up.
But I know this is a Metal Gear podcast. But if you know me, you know I'm the biggest like Silent Hill head, and when they announced the Silent Hill 1 remake,
How'd you feel?
how much do I love Harry Mason T?
I feel like he's one of your top male video game protagonists.
Harry f***ing Mason. Like, dad of the year.
No, he's all around good dude.
Like nothing is wrong with him. That man, and then, okay, anyway, just go watch the rec. Pretty cool. Silent Hill F was also, like, you know, elaborated on. But it was cool to see just little more updates with Delta. Excited, ready. Just wanted to mention it. We're ready. We're excited. You gotta be Death Stranding within a month so you can play Delta.
Man. Now, I think it's kind of funny. You know, with the relationship between like Kojima and Metal Gear, I feel like I'm like in like a relationship and I'm cheating on a spouse.
You gotta play quick before the other one sees.
Yeah, I gotta play Death Stranding, and then Metal Gear comes out, and it's like, oh, okay, I gotta play Death Stranding on like every other day, and play Metal Gear on like maybe Friday and the weekends. I don't know.
If you play Death Stranding, don't beat it and pop in Delta, it will automatically delete your Death Stranding save file.
Oh no.
Kojima has put Fox Die within every copy of Death Stranding.
Oh, can you imagine?
Like, it just changes. It changes Death Stranding just ever so slightly.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
There's something in there, just a little code.
Or like, what if he rewrites it the other way, where it rewrites Delta, and then like instead of playing as Snake, you play as like Norman Reedus or something?
It just, I'm telling you, a little Fox Die virus in there. T, are you ready to continue?
I am ready to continue.
All right, but first,
Yes.
we have a pop quiz.
Ooh.
And I will be asking the questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I am ready.
Onto the pop quiz. So, T,
Yes, Kay.
I have 4 pop quiz questions for you.
Okay.
Can you confirm that you have not seen these questions yet?
I was making us coffee at the time, so no.
Thank you, T. Can you also confirm that the answers are not readily available to you?
They indeed aren't. They're blacked out.
So, let's begin.
All right.
So, T, first question. What is the name of Meryl's unit?
Well, let's see.
You're just doing this to...
Yeah, I know. It's Rat Patrol Team 01.
You are correct.
Yeah!
Question number 2. How long has it been since Meryl has seen Snake?
You see, now this one's a little tricky. Because I know it's been 9 years since Shadow Moses, but I don't know how long Meryl has stuck around post Shadow Moses. I forget, to be honest. I'm gonna say, 7 years?
You know what's funny? I think I messed up. Can we put both the buzzer and the right? I put 9 years. I thought she said it was 9 years.
That could be it.
Buzzer and
for the first time in history.
Okay, woo!
All right.
Because I thought she said that he left shortly after. Like, she said he left suddenly one day.
Yeah, like he quit the unit.
But you're right, it must have been post Shadow Moses.
It was post Shadow Moses.
Damn.
But here's the thing. It could have been within the year. It could, like...
Damn. Yeah, I don't... Oops. Okay, woo! If anyone has an answer, email us. It's tkinam@gmail.com. Thank you. Question number 3.
Okay.
T, please explain how the PMCs can interact with you in the battlefield.
Okay. If you choose to help the rebel-aligned PMCs, they can have your back. Mm-hmm. They cheer you on. They give you words of affirmation. They're just like, wow, you're so cool. I really like you shot him really good.
Wow, so hot.
You were so hot, dude. Can we make out?
Oh,
And then you press triangle button to
make out.
viciously make out.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, actually, I don't think we mentioned this last episode, but you can give like military rations.
That's kind of nice.
That's cool. It's cool.
No press triangle to kiss.
Unfortunately,
press X to Jason.
or not yet. We'll see.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
Alluding to future events, but yeah. Am I right?
Well, is there anything else that happens with PMCs on the battlefield?
That you can interact with them?
No, like how do they interact with you?
Oh.
What else can happen? You name good stuff.
Oh, yo, you're making me blank. Oh no.
No, I'm scared. It's so simple.
It is? It's something bad?
No, you get the right answer. Ding ding ding. No. If you side with the rebels, what do the other PMCs do? They shoot at you. You pick the side.
Oh!
Yeah. You're thinking too much.
I'm thinking way too much about it.
Because there's multiple PMCs.
Yes.
And you were speaking about the rebels. So if you side with the rebels, the opposing force will shoot at you.
True. I mean, both sides would shoot at you regardless, but once you choose a side, one side exclusively.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. Yes. Did I not word it correctly? I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay. I haven't wrote questions in a while.
It's fine.
Okay, so to rehash.
Yes.
Up until you choose a side, both PMCs can shoot at you, try to kill you, aim at you. When you pick a side, you can reason with them, like you said, give them rations, work with them, in a sense, and then the opposing force will shoot at you.
Got it.
Cool. Last question, question number 4.
All right, hit me.
What is Snake's cover to Meryl when he meets her?
His cover was to be a UN inspector to assess the threat of the PMCs in the local area.
Beautiful. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
I'll give you a 4 out of 4, which is?
100%.
There we go, baby.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, T. Are you ready to jump in to part 4 of our Metal Gear Solid 4 discussion?
You're damn right I am.
Also, it was the anniversary of MGS4 recently. Happy birthday, Metal Gear Solid 4. We hope to see you soon.
Hopefully. Hopefully they announce something. I thought that it would have been announced.
Oh my god, that would have been perfect timing.
That would have been perfect, wouldn't it? I was...
Great job, Konami.
In the back of my head, I would be like, you know, if they're going to announce like Volume 2 with Metal Gear Solid 4, this would be pretty sick. And they didn't do it.
First, they steal our idea for a Metal Gear history lesson. And then they don't release Metal Gear Solid 4 during our Metal Gear Solid 4 discussion. Shame on you, Konami.
I feel like that they're just targeting us. I think...
This is the beginning of us going...
This is my conspiracy brain activating. It's like, there's somebody in Konami headquarters that is listening. And I know who you are. I see you.
We gotta... You know what? Let me look real quick. Can we see anyone from Japan listening? Let's do our look. Okay, we're going to our analytics. Let's go... Oh! So
yo!
We have
it looks like we have one listener who's in Tokyo, Japan. Okay, where is Konami located?
In Tokyo.
Cue the music. Thank you.
They're listening.
Interesting.
Email us.
Interesting.
The Patriots always find a way.
I know you're listening, Konami. Or I don't know a random Japanese name off the top of my head, but I know Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's a random person.
I don't know. Anyway,
let's continue. All right, on to the episode. Why was that the first name that popped in your head?
I was just trying to think of a Japanese name, and for some reason it was the first thing that came up, and I was like, I mean, it is a Japanese name.
It is. There probably is someone named that out there. Okay, anyway, team. To continue on with Metal Gear Solid 4. Last we left off, there were these 4 weird femme villains that were causing death and destruction in the battlefield before promptly leaving.
Yeah, they just caused a ruckus, and then they just left.
And Snake's not the only survivor of it, but he was maybe the main witness to all of it. He shook.
In my opinion, I think he was the only survivor.
Yeah, I just remember he like you leave and then you turn a corner and immediately run into other soldiers.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
true,
but
true,
he is
true.
the main survivor of that little
skirmish. Yeah.
I like how shook he also is because he doesn't even call Otacon at all. Like he just
He's like,
okay,
this is the world we live in. Okay.
right? He just like signed to himself at like this new monstrosity that's available to the world. That's cool. I mean, anyway, too, you gotta make your way to Liquid. We have yet to find Liquid. We have yet to go to Praying Mantis headquarters. So maybe there's more horrors awaiting us.
I wondered, like, what kind of horror?
T, while we were taking notes, you were also laughing to me about the philanthropy logo. I feel like we haven't spoken about it.
So something that I found funny about philanthropy is like their symbol, like their brand to the world is this kanji symbol, and it means otaku spirit.
Okay. Does Otacon speak Japanese?
You know, a piece of me would like to think that he at least took a couple of lessons, but I just find it funny that like Otacon, like this must have went down. Otacon and Snake sat down one day and they were like, "All right, well, we're gonna make our outfit, right? We're gonna try to change the world. Otacon, you got any ideas for like a symbol? Because this is really important. A symbol is important." And Otacon's like, "Yeah, I got it, Snake. Check this out." And he's like, "Kanji, what's it mean?" And he's like, "It means otaku." And he's like, "That's so cute, Otacon." And then they kiss
violently.
Violently.
You see, when I tweet stuff or when I put some on Blue Sky about all the Snake and Otacon stuff, T is right behind me.
A lot of it comes
nodding.
from me. I'm not gonna lie.
T is right behind me nodding.
But no, I just find it funny because like Snake saw that shit and was like,
"My man's a weeb."
Like, all right. Like it's almost like I don't know. You find like some sort of fringe like rogue paramilitary outfit and they got fucking Evangelion on the flag and you're like, what the hell, man?
What is it? And then you look and it's just two white boys. Like, all right. Makes sense.
Okay, bro.
That's funny.
Do you?
It's cute that they thought to make like a logo for their terrorist organization.
Yeah.
It's too well, I guess because they're gonna be they were on online boards and they're doing Otacon's doing fringe shit. So most likely his little logo or icon is.
You need like a thing, right?
He needs a little profile picture.
You know, everybody needs a symbol. You know.
I will say, "Let the world be."
That's a baller line.
Pretty sick. They killed it with that one.
I mean, like of all the outfits that we've seen so far, like we've had Foxhound. Then you had Solidus's "Don't Tread on Me" flag.
Oh, ooh, I like Solidus. That was kind of rough.
I mean, it wasn't the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, but it was.
That's pretty much what he was going for.
Yeah, it was a very similar thing.
I like Zoff, but that's for a later discussion.
That's a later discussion. Yeah, there's other logos that we'll go into, but philanthropy, very weeb, but cool.
You have that on your jacket, right?
I do. I actually have a patch.
Weeb.
So I am.
All right, let's continue. So,
all right.
Okay, back to it. Snake is arriving at Praying Mantis headquarters. The last time that Liquid Ocelot, let me be correct. Last time Liquid Ocelot was seen. And he pulls up, and it's, a military outfit. People are there. And Old Snake sees Liquid Ocelot at the top of, like, his balcony.
Yeah, he's, like, perched up.
And Snake immediately ready to snipe the shit out of him.
With a pistol, mind you.
And I guess shoot, right? It's a snipe, but like...
Yeah. I mean, you could snipe somebody with a pistol if you're nice with it.
He should have known what was up and brought a rocket launcher. Knowing how this whole game is, just end it.
In all honesty, I'm surprised that he went for this tactic at all, knowing that in 2, he had that fucking device that just made bullets bounce off of him.
Yeah, you really should have just dropped...
Like, if...
a bomb.
If Solid Snake shot that gun right then and there, do you think the bullet would have just veered off? You think?
That is like, you know what? Very good point. I think Snake was playing it too fast and loose.
Yeah. I mean, he was caught up in the moment,
And I think, too, he knows it's his brother. He sees Ocelot. Like maybe it's a little triggered. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He got a little hype.
Yeah.
The funniest part about this is that Meryl looks at him and she's like, "You know, Inspector,
Yeah,
you idiot,
You took me for an idiot, huh?
stupid idiot. You're here to kill Liquid." And also, she's like, "You know what? All right." And then she just turns around
And like
turns
like,
her back on him.
she really kind of acted like a corrupt cop. Cause like she was like, "Hey, I ain't looking.
I see nothing.
I ain't see nothing, but I can't help you. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just turn this way."
Her and her team literally turn their
They
back.
turn away.
And I was like, damn, that's some real government shit. So, but I think she was more mad that Snake played her for a dummy. Again, ties into their relationship.
Yeah, it's like you insult her intelligence. Like, come on, get out of here.
But not even that. We were close. Like, you can't even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't even tell me what you're here doing. Like, we spent years together. So she's like, whatever. Go do what you gotta do. I'm gonna be over here doing my job. But Liquid Ocelot, unbeknownst, he's not aware of Snake or Meryl being there. He's at the top looking at all these soldiers. He radios in a command to someone, and all he says is,
"Activate it."
all the soldiers but Johnny start bugging out.
Like, people just collapse to the floor. They start foaming at the mouths. They start beating on each other. There's this one guy, and it's for a split second, but I think about him every time I play this game. It's for a split second, but like the camera pans over him. He's wearing like a balaclava, right? And he violently, like, projectile vomits through the balaclava onto the floor. And all I could think of is like, that dude is like waterboarding himself.
He's suffocating with his own.
Like, the smoke, the texture. Like, I can't imagine that. That's hell. Like, help him in particular.
I bet Johnny isn't the worst of it now, huh?
Oh, I bet you. And also, for some reason, Johnny's not affected.
He's like, he shit himself. His pants are covered in his poop, but he's like looking around and like he's going like, Meryl, like he's like, what's going on? And Meryl's foaming on the ground.
Yeah,
but
like
he's
it looks
fine.
like he has like rabies or something.
He is fine.
Yeah.
Odd. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, it is interesting. Snake also, he is also affected, but not as infected. Like
his vision is blurred and he's like his movement is stuttered.
But like he's still able to compose himself. I mean,
like he's mostly in control.
I would say like
60-40?
he's like a 60-40 situation. Like, he is in a lot of pain, and it looks like he's like really trying to hold himself together, but like he could still hold his gun. He could still aim it, and like
he still can he's still able to like kind of continue on with his mission.
Yeah.
As opposed to everyone else being totally comatose.
Yeah, they're just completely, they lost their minds.
I think what's also worth mentioning is that up on the balcony, watching with Liquid Ocelot, is an unknown woman. And it looks like they're kind of both aware of this plan. They're in cahoots. Because Liquid Ocelot looks at her and he goes, "These aren't the expected results, but it is refreshing."
Interesting.
Snake, like you were saying, is not in the best shape right now, but he's still pointing his gun at Liquid Ocelot.
And Ocelot, or Liquid Ocelot rather, turns to Snake, and he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up? You're here?"
Brother, wow, long time no see.
And he's just like, "Yo, this is a great day, bro." Because guess what? Turns out we're not copies. We're not clones.
We are free from the shackles of fate.
Snake, brother, we are free.
And for a first-time player, it's like, what the hell does that mean?
How's that related to the moment at hand? What's going on? But Liquid is
He's just high on life right now. He's doing it.
happy day. Just, not even concerned that Snake is there pointing a gun at him. He's like, whatever. We are free, brother.
Which furthers my belief that he actually does have that device on him.
Yeah, right. He's not bothered by.
I bet you, if this event didn't happen and Snake popped off the shot, it would have veered off. That's my headcanon. I'd have zero proof of this.
But I mean, I think he'd be dumb not to with that technology, and then knowing kind of like what he's doing.
yeah, and he's also in an active war zone. There could be like a stray bullet somewhere, you know?
yeah. So no, 100, and then we have all these monstrosities running around.
Yeah.
He's definitely
He's got that thing on him. You
he
know?
got that thing on him. But again, he does not care. Snake continues. Well, he's actually progressively, I would say, feeling the effects of whatever's happening. Like he's on the ground now. He's falling. He's kind of like his vision is getting a lot more blurred.
Yeah.
And before it completely kind of like his vision goes away, some woman walks by, and she just jabs herself in the neck with like a syringe.
Yeah, like a syringe. Okay. And then drops it to him. And then she steps a little bit closer, and then we get the reveal that it's actually Naomi
Hooray!
from MGS1. What is she doing here?
Woo!
Why is she with Liquid Ocelot?
She
What's
looks-
going on?
I mean, more importantly, she looks great.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, what is she doing working with him though? What is she jabbing her neck? Help, Snake.
I don't know. And then she also says some cryptic stuff like, if you're not going to be shackled by fate, then go fulfill your destiny. I'm like, what does that mean, lady? what do we...
Snake's just there listening, foaming at the mouth.
Does he even... Like, if I was Naomi, like, I'd be like, does he even hear me right now? Like...
Go, Snake. And he's just there convulsing.
And then she's like, is that like weeb stuff on your chest? And he's like, my boyfriend made me wear it. Help me.
Call him, please.
Call him. I need assistance.
Even funnier, and like this is so sad because Liquid just really wins this little battle in the war.
Oh yeah, because there's a sick shot of him where like he's perched up and then he turns at just the right moment and a helicopter rises up. And this dude is
not bothered by the helicopter.
oh, he looks so cool. And he puts on the glasses all dramatically. He jumps into a moving helicopter, mind you, and he just flies away.
While his brother is convulsing on the ground, looking.
Loser.
It's what do the kids say now?
Aura farming.
That Liquid was aura farming to the max. He knew people were watching. He knew Snake was watching on the ground.
I'm of the belief that Liquid Ocelot is 100% the kind of guy that would performatively read books on the train.
Yeah, you have a really
No, it bothers the hell out. This is a side tangent, but like for some reason, that's like a really big thing.
Tom
with me.
doesn't believe that people read books on the subway.
No, I don't believe that like nobody reads books on the subway.
I read books
think
on the subway.
well, you do. What? Let me finish.
Sorry.
I'm saying that like let's say out of 100% of people, right? 60% are performative. 40% are real.
Where's his math coming from
my lived experience, all right?
Have you surveyed 100 people?
You're not reading Infinite Jest.
On the 6 train. What are we doing? Who does that? No one. It's performance.
Oh my god.
It's to make people think, oh, I'm so sophisticated.
So you think Liquid would just have books?
100%. 100%.
Just the aura farm on the side.
Yeah. God, you're going to tell me that a guy like Liquid Ocelot wouldn't do something like that?
On the train? I mean,
I'm reading The Art of War. On the A train. On my way to my...
that's him
What?
breaking.
What would his job be in the city?
What would he do?
My internship at Google is going quite well.
Okay.
All right, anyway.
So anyway, yeah, Liquid Ocelot just kills it. Goes in the helicopter, does not give a shit. Snake is just convulsing on the ground. Liquid won this battle. It wasn't too smart of Snake to pop out like that. Like,
No.
I feel like now Liquid knows you're after him, obviously. Liquid knows you're affected by whatever the hell he did.
You gave Naomi the ick.
He gave Naomi the ick. And you've learned nothing.
Yeah.
You don't know where he went. You like Old Snake could have done a lot better.
He could have. He could have.
And to put salt on the wound, who saves you at the end of this is Johnny.
Mr. Poopy Pants himself.
He literally, you hear him go like, Snake, are you okay? And he is like propping you up on his shoulders and like bringing you to like undisclosed area to be, kind of saved. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Failure.
Yeah, and then you just black out, and then that's the end of Snake. For now, anyway.
For now, Jesus. Snake wakes up. How many hours later?
How long was I out? A whole day.
It was enough time for Snake to be transported to Otacon. He gets changed out. Ooh, I wonder who changed out. Anyway.
Oh my god! Look at you! Look at
I'm just saying, like,
you're
there's
more interested in their relationship than I feel like I am.
Come on, there. You got like a little family dynamic, man. Anyway.
Oh, I mean, speaking of family dynamic, so yeah, like Snake is back on the plane.
Yeah.
With Otacon and a little girl named Sunny. This is a child in this plane.
Yeah, there's just like a little kid hanging out.
There's if you were to boot up Metal Gear Solid 4 and watch the briefing before playing the game, there is a mission 1 briefing.
Yeah.
You'd have to pick it yourself.
Yeah,
before...
it's very optional. A lot of players miss it.
So we detailed it in a previous episode. Like we kind of wrote out a turn. But if you were just to start this game, this is the first time you would see Sunny.
Yeah.
So even back in that mission briefing, you're like, who is this girl? Like we know her name is Sunny. She calls Otacon Uncle Hal.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. And what's even more interesting is she cooks some disgusting ass eggs. When she walks past the kitchen to bring the eggs to Uncle Hal and Snake, there's a picture of Olga in her Metal Gear Solid 2 attire, just framed in the kitchen.
So I think it's pretty fair to say that this is Olga's kid.
I guess we can say that.
Right? I mean, that's
the
pretty
same color hair.
It's the exact little bob.
Well, I think Olga had a buzz cut.
Did she have a buzz cut?
I think Olga had a buzz cut. Olga had she had a bob in when she was let's see.
Or would they call it like a pixie cut?
So like you see when she was Deep Throat, she had a little bit longer hair.
Yeah.
But then
Tanker Incident, she had shorter hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, she has a similar look. Sunny has a similar haircut to Olga in
Big Shell.
Big Shell. So yeah, this is obviously her daughter.
Yeah, and it's also further alluded to because at the end of Metal Gear Solid 2, Snake is like, "Yeah, I'll find him." So I guess they found him.
Found him, her.
Yeah.
Interesting. What's really cute about this section too is, Otacon and Snake are debriefing what the fuck has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also kind of like a sitcom moment because you really get this dynamic of like parents with their child because they're talking about some real adult shit. And Sunny's like, here, Uncle Hal, I made you eggs. And Hal Otacon does not want it at all. He's like, great, thank you.
Thanks, Sonny.
And then Sunny's like, oh, Snake, I'll make you some. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And Otacon's like, no, like, make one for him. He's like, no. And Otacon's like, you're hurting her feelings. Just let her make eggs.
Yeah, there's like this cute moment where like Snake kind of disses Sonny for a second and then Hal actively like shushes him.
He's like,
you really hurt her feelings. Yeah. Why don't you teach her how to cook eggs then? Oh, like
it's super cute. Sunny winds up bringing him eggs anyway with a cigarette on the side. And he's like, oh, I gotta watch my caloric intake, but I'll take this cigarette.
It's like, oh.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, diss the shit out of me. And then we had like a discussion. And this led to like a post that we had on Blue Sky. But like we thought like, hey, why did she cook one plate of eggs?
At a time.
At a time. Like she cooked it, brought it down, went back upstairs, cooked another one, and then brought that one down. And we thought like, maybe there was a time where she cooked both and went down the stairs without holding the railing.
And just ate shit.
When it hit turbulence and she just went like, ah!
Because the steps too, if you watch the game, they are steep.
Yeah.
And she walks up the steps and down
like,
the steps.
super carefully.
Like a little kid does, like both feet, like how would you describe that? Like, you know how you normally walk up steps?
Yeah.
She does like, it's like,
very slow. She puts 2 feet on each step.
Yeah, she climbs up.
Yeah.
Both feet rest on each step at a time. So it's very careful. You said that she walks. Oh wait, I wrote it down here. It made me laugh. You said the way she walks is a lesson learned.
Yeah.
Like she probably ate shit and just
Cuz like it's not like she has a problem with walking. She walks around just fine. It's just like when she's on the stairs, she's just like, I better really watch my step here.
she probably ate so much shit. Glass,
Eggs went everywhere.
ceramic everywhere, just her bawling. Just out of kind of like, I told you to hold on.
And then the snake's like,
Well, what happened? I'll get the band-aids.
They saved this girl from the Patriots' control only for her to die by falling down some steps.
oh my god, that's great.
He's like, Olga, this is not what Olga wanted. Like, we were supposed to take care of her.
We're really trying. We're really, really trying. Oh, and then like I can imagine they take her back upstairs and they're like putting little bandages on her, and then they look up and then they see Olga on the wall.
You're like, oh.
And then she's like, oh my god.
failed you.
Oh, we are failing so hard.
But I mean, it is interesting that like, what is Sunny doing here? She's on like this is not a place for a child.
Mhm.
I mean, case in point, the steep ass steps.
Yeah, she's also in like a very militarized plane. This is not the place for a kid.
You know, this is also like basically their home. We don't see them in an apartment or anything. And from Metal Gear Solid 2, we know that they're basically considered a terrorist organization, and they were kind of always on the run.
I mean, yeah, Snake himself says in 2 that he lives as a nomad.
So we can imagine with the way the world is, they're in even it's like larger stakes. And to her credit, Sunny looks comfortable here. She looks well adjusted, happy. She's happy with them. She just looks like she's a child enough to want to make eggs and be mad that no one likes them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of a
She's free to be like a kid, you know?
kind of a blessing in this world.
Yeah.
She's free to just like be mad about something simple. That's a simple concern based on everything else that's going on.
And maybe that's like an active thing that Snake and Otacon are doing as well. Like they're trying to shield Sunny from what the world is.
Is that not like a family unit? Or like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because they could have, I mean, other people in this series have taken in children into their care.
Mhm.
And what have they done? Saw this to
Oh.
Raiden?
Gray Fox took in Naomi.
We can say Big Boss, the boss to Snake.
Yeah.
Naked Snake. You know what I mean? Like everybody took them in and look how they turned out.
And it seems that Otacon and Snake are like they're making like a real concerted effort to be like, that's not gonna be Sunny.
very interesting. Very, very interesting. And they're not perfect, so she's gonna eat shit down some steps
Yeah.
every once in a while. I feel like Kojima that was like Kojima like, we need her to walk very carefully down the steps. Like I feel like he learned that lesson. And he was like, this is realistic of a child. She needs to walk up these steps so carefully.
Hold the banister.
Trust me,
It's
guys.
there for a reason.
Trust me. I
ate shit really bad one day and it hurt. It hurt.
But in this, and it's also nice that they're not really including Sunny in this conversation. This is an adult conversation. They're kind of rehashing what happened.
Mhm.
So Snake's like, is Meryl cool? What's happening? Otacon tells you Meryl's fine. Her team is fine. Some soldiers weren't. Their hearts literally stopped on the battlefield. But you're good, and Meryl's team is good. So don't worry about that. Also, I kind of received this message while everything was happening, and it's from Naomi. And it's not AI. It's not digitally altered. Like, this is Naomi.
And that's kind of funny that that's a concern in that world.
Right? That, like,
It's like, oh, this is not a digitally synthesized thing.
Which is, Kojima, you little genius.
Wow.
Because that's good. That technology is getting really good.
It
and good
is.
in a bad way.
Yeah, I would
So,
agree.
Bonacon confirmed it's not AI. And he's like, look, he shows Snake the video, and we're going to break it down right now.
So basically, Naomi breaks this down to saying that Liquid wants control of the SOP system.
Okay.
And the SOP system is a third generation series of nanomachines.
Mm.
And in order to break into SOP, Liquid Ocelot, I keep messing
It's okay.
that up. Liquid Ocelot figures that he needs to understand how they were made and thus captures Naomi since she created the first generation.
Oh, yes, because the first generation of nanomachines was what was used for Fox Die. Well, Fox Die was a secret part of the nanomachines in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, like I from what I understand, Naomi was a geneticist
Yeah.
and she helped engineer Fox Die as
A secret part.
a secret part of this government program, and it seemed to be that her research was used in other areas that eventually became SOP.
So, yeah, so, we know specifically that Fox Die was the secret nanomachines that targeted certain DNA. When Snake got injected with nanomachines in MGS1, there were nanomachines that affected his adrenaline. There were nanomachines that affected his mood. There
Mhm.
were also nanomachines that prevented him from shooting his gun back in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
So it's funny because Fox Die was also a secret part of it, but there was still also that capability of nanomachines to prevent him from certain actions.
That's true. I'm just thinking because like Naomi's speciality is genetics.
Yeah.
So that would mean that whatever SOP is, it's more on the genetic side than it is on the nanomachine side.
I think it's two sides of the same coin. She designed the parts of it that affect your genes and your DNA, whatever,
Mhm.
and then you have the method by which it's transferred. You know
I
what I
see.
mean? So she created how it works. You need something to carry it through your system, your body.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you need a vehicle to bring this around your body.
Okay. I think I pick up what you're putting down.
Because the nanotechnology, like it, how do I say this? There is, like in the series, they explain how I think it was specifically Snake. His blood was removed and infused and put back into his body was like blood infused nanomachines, right?
I think that was more so Raiden than Snake. I mean, Snake definitely got nanomachines. But
You're right. You're right.
with Raiden, they took out his blood and replaced it with fake blood.
Yes, forgive me. Yes, you're right. You're right. But what it is we know that it's these little things that are able to be controlled and connected, and I think that Naomi's part of it was that secret little nanomachine that was able to target, the heart, target certain DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this larger system that's able to control your emotions, your heart rate. It's these little machines that release certain chemicals or target certain things in your brain to release chemicals.
I see. So it's like a nanomachine releasing some sort of like pheromone or something.
Yeah, or whatever hormone.
Yeah.
And there is a nanomachine that releases the work she did to target the heart, the DNA, whatnot.
Okay.
I think it's a group effort.
Oh yeah. I obviously like Naomi didn't design this thing all on her own because you need somebody who specializes in like nanotechnology, and I don't think that that's her forte.
Well, she's a geneticist who specializes in nanotechnology.
Okay.
I think what's confusing you is the method by which it's transferred.
Uh-huh.
So she focuses on like the science behind why it targeted Liquid and Snake, the nanomachines.
Okay.
Technology used in Fox Die was incorporated, inherited really, by SOP. That's why Liquid has me helping him hijack the system, because I know how Fox Die works.
Naomi is, and we're no fucking experts, but she's essentially, she is a geneticist who is working on technology to affect and change genes, affect and change DNA.
Okay.
So that is why she was able to create Fox Die with specifically targeted certain DNA. It was
Got
able
it.
to affect Liquid.
Okay.
It was able to affect Snake. It was able to affect oh my god, Homeboy.
Saw this?
No, the guy who had the heart. Everybody who had a heart attack in Metal Gear
Okay.
Solid 1. You know what I mean? So she was able to specialize in affecting and changing those structures. I think nanomachines as a whole separate. It's like really microscopic machines. That's separate. It's a
Uh-huh.
team effort, but I think the technology for how it works is more important than the way the machines to just bring it around your body.
Got
you
it.
know what I mean?
Okay.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does.
There's probably a better way to explain it, but I'm doing my best. She's specialized in the gene aspect as opposed to the machine aspect.
I got you.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so she is captured by Liquid, and Liquid wants her to break down how the nanomachines of the first generation worked, because since this third generation is created from it, he's like, okay, I can just break it down at its core and then be able to control everything. So Naomi's like, please come save me. Here's my location. Come find me. I'm held against my will. Whatever. Sunny was able to help in this effort too. I know I said earlier that Snake and Otacon were keeping her out of it. She's a little tech whiz.
Yeah, she's a little hacker genius type because Naomi apparently sent this via Soliton radar format,
Smart.
which is also like a calling card to be like, hey, it's really me.
Using technology from Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Right? That's cute. That's cute.
And then Sunny was like, "Oh yeah, I transcribed it," and she was like, "Yeah, you just got to transfer the visual data to
Audio data.
audio data to visual data. It was easy." And I was like, "Okay, I can't do that, but okay."
And Sunny's like, I think apparently she's under 10 years old. I think she's like 7 here. So she's just a little. I can imagine her and Otacon working together, and
They probably do. I mean, he probably taught her, you know.
super cute. Not only is Sunny helping, Mei Ling is in Hawaii helping Otacon too. I always forget that philanthropy is not just Snake and Otacon too. They have their community.
Yeah, they Mei Ling helps on the side with I believe getting like gadgets.
Cool.
And I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Nastasha donates book sales, like the profits from it.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Okay.
I'll future time it, but I'm almost sure that is what Nastasha is also doing.
I would say also Colonel could be a little bit part of philanthropy in a sense.
In a way, yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
he's good enough to hire them, and he knows
What they're doing.
what they're doing and everything. Maybe he's like he covers for them. You know what I mean?
Speaking of Campbell also calls to chat about what happened.
Oh, lovely.
So he calls. And we're gonna go into what he talks about. But this man has his little young thing walking around in the background.
Interesting.
So this is a secret covert situation. I mean, it was. It was his attempt at thwarting Liquid Ocelot. And in the back, you see baby girl just like walking in the back during this call. First off, you know this nonchalantly.
Yeah.
This call is not going to be long. You know that. And he's just like, I want you to see my girl real quick.
And like she gives him like coffee or tea.
At one point, he got baby girl giving him a plate of like a tray of food.
And it had like a decorative rose on it.
My man thought he was slick. He was like,
Mm.
yo, look at my bitch. He was like, this I have a call in like 2 minutes. Just walk by. He can't help Anyway, Campbell breaks down that the country that Naomi is in, she's in South America, is in the middle of a civil war. Liquid's private army is backing a new regime, great, while the local PMCs and ex-military are revolting against that new regime.
It's a proper civil war.
We've seen it time and time again in history.
Yeah.
And it seems that the US government is also aware of what philanthropy is doing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Colonel.
Yeah, apparently Colonel is like the AROSC. ARSOC.
ARSOC.
ARSOC, my bad. It stands for U.S. Army Special Operations Command. Is on to them.
So
Uncle Sam's ears are perked.
no longer UN. Well, I mean, he was only UN inspector to Meryl. So, but now they're watching or they're aware. So Snake, I feel like the time is running out.
Yeah.
Great job, Colonel. Great job. Probably through, I feel like Liquid. This is Liquid's way to like Liquid Ocelot finding ways to stop Snake,
Yeah.
get Colonel in trouble, whatnot.
Shit, it even could have been Meryl if you think about it. I mean, like, she hates Colonel.
She hates Colonel, and also too, she's on her way to stop Liquid.
And she's also in the army herself.
She could have also fucked them and be like, "I'm leaving. Liquid's here." And so they're like, "Why are you here?" Oh, what's Colonel and Snake doing?
Yeah, it's like, why don't you ask your UN special counsel who employed a terrorist organization? Could be that. You never know.
That is a good point. But it ends with Colonel being fed food by his bad bitch. Snake and Otacon and Little Sunny are on their way. It's a 20-hour flight, apparently.
It's a 20-hour flight to El Dorado International Airport, which I did some light research, but El Dorado International Airport is a real airport in Colombia. So it's safe to assume that maybe they're going to Colombia?
So we were in undisclosed Middle East country, and now we're in maybe
Colombia.
Maybe Colombia.
Now, if I was to take a ballpark,
Guess.
at where they were in the Middle East, my gut says Iraq.
Why?
Because the game came out during like the Iraq War,
Okay.
and it was a hot topic, and I think that was like Kojima's like little commentary.
Okay. Not to it all.
That's what I think.
Okay, that's fair. And yeah, I kind of don't like when we get like undisclosed country. But we got Colombia now. Maybe.
Maybe.
At least the airport. It's a real place.
Yeah.
Okay. We are now given the title screen of Act 2, Solid Sun. What was Act 1 called?
Liquid Sun.
Liquid Solid. Okay. We are given another briefing. It's a voiceover of Colonel and Snake discussing Liquid Ocelot's plan. What was funny to me is I had to listen to this quite a number of times because Snake is crawling and sneaking onto a base, and the way he crawls is very sensual, and it was hard to really hear what Colonel and Snake were talking about because everyone just go look at how Snake
He's making love to the ground.
the way he crawls is, I guess it works because no one sees him. But anyway, Colonel and Snake are discussing this. It's a voiceover. And they're basically talking about it's the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always the fucking Patriots. As we know, the war economy in this world is established and accepted. And that's the Patriots' overall goal.
Yeah, they wanted control. And Solid Snake even says that everything that Solid has feared, it all came to pass.
The Patriots are trying to protect their power, their own interests, by controlling the digital flow of information.
The Patriots control everything. They control everyone, money, information. That is what the Patriots wanted. Solidus was right.
He actually was. that war monster was right.
Was right. And now that Liquid is taking over Ocelot, I can imagine that Liquid is the one that wants to overtake and subvert the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a combination of two. It's
Yeah.
Liquid taking over Ocelot's body. So this current Liquid Ocelot, his plan is to subvert the Patriots by breaking down their overall control of through the SOP system.
Yeah.
Then he will be in control. So then he'll be
Finally.
He'll be,
So it'll just be the Patriots again, but only Liquid Ocelot would be in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Saw this. He was right.
Snake is talking to Colonel about all this, and he's like, well, until we get rid of Liquid and destroy the system, then we're never going to be free.
And Colonel's like, whoa. Destroy the system?
We can't do that, buddy.
We like, the society will collapse. Like, there'll be no structure. Like, Snake, we can't destroy the system. I mean, this is kind of like what we were mentioning earlier. Well, they'll throw sentences in this game, and you're like, wait, pause that. What do you mean by that? You know?
Mhm.
Because we're really talking about this idea of like incremental change versus radical change. It's also like to me shows that there's still a little part of Snake that like wants better.
Yeah,
Or-
there's that revolutionary spirit in him still.
He sees better for the world. He's like, we could be free. There could be something else and something new in this world. And Colonel's like, but that's gonna disrupt so much. Like we could stop Liquid and then, you know. I mean that's a larger discussion of like you said, what is it possible? What really is gonna work?
Colonel is operating of the idea that this system is fucked up, but it's what we have.
Yeah, like his insistence to like project the system. Like what is he protecting?
Yeah. I mean, he knows that they got to stop Liquid. And it's like, I guess it's just more of like the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Knowing what we know now, do you think like Solid Snake would have sided with Solidus?
That's a
Not the dictator part.
but like ideologically, I really do think so. Like I don't think Snake would have aided Solidus, because Solidus in his master plan went a little extreme. But I think he really would have sympathized, or maybe even tried to go like, be like, "Hey, you got some ideas here, but let's take it back a little bit." You
Mhm.
know, like
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, like you said, Solidus wanted to be the king of his own hill, but he ultimately did not want the Patriots to have this unyielding control of it all.
it's like when your conspiracy theorist friend is actually right on something and you don't want to admit it. You know,
Yeah, it's like yes, but
you know what I mean? It's like a very big caveat on like, yes, but
Mhm.
that doesn't mean that everything else is right. You know?
It is interesting, and I do like bringing up Saul. It kind of goes back to how Metal Gear Solid 4 really, I feel like, tries to wrap a nice bow on everything, right? It brings back all these people, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what their goals are, what their intentions are. Like it's putting a nice little end to some characters'
Mm-hmm.
storylines. But T, we're gonna end this episode with Snake in South America.
Till the next episode.
Next episode. That was a lot, T.
That was a lot, Kay. But I think we covered a lot of cool little topics. I think that the idea of having Snake being maybe politically more aligned to Solidus is an interesting thought.
It's funny for any character to be aligned with Solidus, because Solidus always gets forgotten and it's kind of the weaker of the of the clones.
Sadly, because like I feel like Solidus was genuinely onto something. It's just that he was not the right guy to do this sort of thing.
It was right message, wrong messenger. And like you said, it is cool that Colonel is a good guy, but it's almost like he's misguided in this. Like a part of Snake sees hope for the future, and Colonel's like, he wants good, but I think there is that fear of, like you said, like, what if not this, then what?
Yeah, he can't comprehend a world that is not the one that he's living in right now.
I mean, how could you imagine anything better than this?
Yeah. Even if it's hell, you know, like this is the world that we know.
How can you imagine good when everything is so bad? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if it's not this, is it going to be worse? Like, how can good happen if good has never happened in my lifetime? Or, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's probably exactly how Colonel thinks.
In contrast to how Snake feels, barely anything good has happened to Snake, and yet Snake persists.
He still wants to have that better tomorrow.
And I think it's really evident too, and just I think Sunny. I mean, Sunny is not living, as of what we know, the greatest life. It's funny. She's not living the ideal child's life, but she looks well adjusted. Like Snake and Otacon are doing what they can to let her be a child.
Yeah.
So That's interesting. This game is so cool. I love this series so much.
4 has like a really lot of cool little plot points that you could like really ponder about, you know?
And for those who have never played 4, it's, you go on message boards, you probably talk with older fans, and this game is really polarizing. But
Yeah, I mean, admittedly, the gameplay to cutscene ratio is very out of whack. But
and the story itself, a lot of people
yeah, it pulls in a lot of different directions.
but
Which is part and parcel why this 101 series is most likely going to be our longest one.
But if you zoom out and look at the overall themes, especially right now,
There's some cool stuff here.
it's really cool when you're able to sit and break it down. And that's what the MGU is for, baby.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here.
That is why we're here. T, thank you for the episode. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you as well.
Always.
And I appreciate our listeners.
We appreciate you guys. And I'm pointing at all of you in the distance. Thank you for listening. As always, check us out every 2 weeks with another episode of Metal Gear Solid 4. Be sure to rate us if you haven't on wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our YouTube, our Twitch. We are TK and M. Wherever any other social media.
We're around.
We're around. T, any lasting thoughts or things you want to say?
Try to take care of yourselves. Try to take care of your friends. But be like Snake. In a world that wants you to be Big Boss, be Solid Snake.
Beautiful. We're going to end it right there. See you on 2 weeks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, guys.